Hello, nerds watching all over the internet. It is Thursday night. It is December 28th, the final Thursday of the month of December, the final Thursday of 2023, and we're here for another exciting live edition of Wrestle Rewind. Yahoo! Yes, folks, another Thursday night, another wacky, wild Thursday night to talk about all the cool, greatest moments in professional wrestling. And guiding you through your journey is me, your host. I am Jose Casabona. I'm also the host, the founder, the executive producer, and content manager of the Ravens Flock. I wear many hats, or rather many sunglasses in this game.
Yeah, it just uses the one hat.
I know, right? And on behalf of everyone on this channel, we appreciate all of you tuning in right now. And joining behind the camera is the host of the Black Files, my time partner for Wrestle Wrewind, a man who puts in the man hours behind all the videos that we produce on this channel every single week, Mr. Juan Arauz.
Thank you for that fine introduction, Jose. Don't you ever forget the Mister.
I'm sorry, I'm tapped. I've run out of jokes. I've run out of creative ideas for you.
Well, the year is almost over, and I know what you mean when you say creative has nothing for you, so don't sweat it.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
It's not.
Okay, well, we'll just move on then.
Yeah.
And much like all our other shows on this channel, we are simulcasting on youtube.com/theravensflock and kick.com/theravensflock. Hit the subscribe or the follow button on the bottom right corner of your screen. Click the bell icon to enable all the notifications. Leave your questions and comments below. We'll answer as many as we can while we're live. And if you wish to go above and beyond to support the Ravens Flock, whether it be YouTube or Kick, then you can become an inner flocker. For $4.99 a month, you'll have access to all the perks that comes with being a member. Juan, tell them.
Well, for all the inner flockers we've got in our chat, and I know we have plenty, go ahead and show off those lovely membership badges and custom emojis, letting everybody know that you have stepped forward and that you've become one of the few, the proud, the flockers. No, we're not trying to run our own paramilitary. What do you ask? By helping us out and break free from our straight jobs and shatter the shackles of late-stage capitalism, you're helping us become full-time YouTubers, slowly but surely. With your support, we can and will succeed. You also get access to Members First and Members-Only content, a special discount to our merch store, link in the description below, and you also get access to us, the Ravens Flock, your favorite motley crew of nerds, here to make your voice our mission by providing us your thoughts, your input, your feedback, your ideas on how to better shape the future of this channel to suit your tastes and needs. Saying hello to Gene Rick, Lisa Boo, Jeannie Rick, ooh la la, and Kurisi Rando-sama and Matthew Coburn. Hey up there, folks. Welcome to Wrestle Rewind. Jose,
right.
What is it that we normally do here on this program?
Here on Wrestle Rewind, we review 3 of the most exciting professional wrestling programs in North America today. That is WWE's NXT, All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite, and Impact Wrestling, soon to be TNA Impact Wrestling.
Oh, so they're keeping the Impact name in there, but it's just TNA Impact Wrestling?
Yes.
It's official?
That's right.
Okay, cool. So that's not confusing.
Absolutely.
At all.
You know what? They'll figure it out eventually. Now, that being said, folks, we are at the end of the year of 2023, and yeah, a lot has happened in the wrestling scene. This Sunday will be AEW's final pay-per-view event of the year.
Sunday? I thought it was Saturday night.
I think it's Saturday night or Sunday. I'll have to look it up. But their final pay-per-view of the year this weekend is AEW at World's End.
AEW World's End.
AEW World's End, sorry.
Yeah, it's Saturday.
It is Saturday. Okay, this Saturday. Where MJF will take on Samoa Joe for the AEW World title, where we finally get the long, exhausting, and arduous reveal of the Devil.
Is that really happening, though?
I mean, they're teasing it. It's gonna happen. It's the final pay-per-view. It'd be stupid if they didn't.
So it's not gonna happen then.
Well, we'll see. Yeah.
That's just my opinion, though.
Yep. WWE's NXT and Impact Wrestling have already wrapped up shooting their videos of the best moments from NXT and introducing the NXT Awards. So that's why for this week we're gonna be taking a break from our usual routine, and we're gonna do something a little bit different for you folks. One, nerds. Let's take a moment to talk about WWE NXT, one of the 3 shows that I review on this channel. Now, WWE NXT is the third brand of the WWE. They air 3 shows every week: Raw, and SmackDown, and NXT. What makes NXT different is that the roster is full of new and upcoming stars who will become the wrestlers, the main event players of tomorrow. And we definitely got some headliners on NXT right now. Braun Breaker is still
You don't have to tap me. I'm already doing this stuff.
I gotta find a way to signal you.
You don't have to signal anything.
All right, fine. Yeah, no, we've got some great stars over in NXT like Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Roxanne Perez, who are still holding down the charge, so good on them. And over the years, since its inception, NXT has seen a lot of changes, a lot of evolutionary changes. From the early beginnings of being a reality contest show.
Wait, AJ Lee started on NXT?
Yeah, she was in season 3.
Really?
Yeah.
I was wondering how the hell she popped up.
Yeah, I know. It's weird, isn't it?
Why is Wade Barrett wearing a rose on a jacket without a shirt on?
Because that was his thing when he was in season 1 during the competition. I don't know.
That's a weird thing.
It is a weird thing.
Who's that short, skinny guy with the baby face talking down the Miz?
Ha! That is the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, aka Daniel Bryan.
You're kidding.
Yeah, that was him.
Couldn't recognize him without the beard.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
I know.
Yep.
God, it's been so long, right?
Yep. From the early years of being a reality show to evolving into a Ring of Honor-like indie wrestling show with the production capabilities of the WWE, to being featured on national TV Wednesday nights going head-to-head against AEW Dynamite. Yep, and we all know how well that worked out.
Yeah, that was the beginning of and the end of the Wednesday Night War. A mistake?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not everything can be gold for NXT. I mean, they certainly had some bumps on the road, but one thing has always remained constant is that NXT has an incredible history of great and awesome past NXT champions.
Right,
wait, hang on a minute.
Hold on. Kurisi is celebrating over here, having been an Interflocker for 16 months. Congratulations.
Yay!
Thank you so much for that, Kurisi. Hello, guys. Sorry for being MIA. Hooray for holidays and retail. Don't you fret. We totally understand.
You're totally good. Don't worry about it. But now let's go ahead and talk about the top prize of NXT. That is the NXT Championship.
So what about the NXT Championship?
It is the number one. It is the number one title in NXT since its inception in 2012. We have seen many superstars capture the NXT title, and this is a big deal because depending on who the champion is, if you win the title, then guess what? That means that the WWE are paying very close attention to you. But not just that. If your luck turns out well enough, they're ready. It means that WWE is ready to take the training wheels off of you, pluck you out of Little Winter Park, and take you all over the entire world to feature all over the main roster. And I'm sure every NXT champion has had their success, right? Right?
But holy shit, Jen! Oh my god, Jen Pearson! She just gave us a freaking Christmas gift, or a late Christmas gift, of, like 5 Interflocker memberships.
All right!
Folks all over, so congratulations!
Congratulations!
To Matthew Coburn, Nikki Bella, Project Metal Music, Aaron Cooper, and Jen Pearson! Holy shit!
Yes!
Well, thank you!
Very good!
Congratulations to all of you who just got...
Whoop!
Who just became Interflockers or just got renewed. So congratulations to you all, and thank you again, Jen Pearson, for that wonderful holiday present. Right as the year's wrapping up, we appreciate it immensely.
Absolutely. All right. This is great. But yeah, so yeah, being NXT champion, that is a very big deal for the NXT brand. Like, and of course, it comes complete with a signature Triple H pointing photo op. I mean, come on, who doesn't...
What, did you want me to sell that for you, Jose? What do you want me to do?
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
Really, like, okay, what the... Like,
hey, listen, this is something new I'm trying, okay, man? Just get with the game.
No, Jen's actually saying, like, how do you give yourself a gift membership? Face palm. Like, you know what? Think of it as a kickback for yourself.
There you go.
I guess. I don't know. Well, I'm not arguing it, I guess. You got the Interflocker membership. That's the important thing, I guess.
But to be perfectly honest, and not every NXT. While there's a lot of champions that have come and gone from 2012 till present day, there's only a select few that has certainly made an impact for the Black and Gold brand. And on this program in Wrestle Rewind, we're going to count down my pick for the top 10 greatest NXT champions of all time. Juan, ring that bell.
Don't mind if I do.
All right, folks, let us begin with number 10. Samoa Joe. That was very delayed, Juancho.
No, I'm saying wait, did you want me to do a drum roll? Do you want me to do
No, we saved the drum roll for last. That's how we do it.
All right, well, here we go. All right, and you're right. This is a bit of a first. Jose's wanted to try something a little bit different tonight, and considering that, well, there really isn't any episode thingies of NXT or Impact. We had to figure out something, and Jose's been wanting to try this out for a little while.
Absolutely. So let's talk about Samoa Joe. He has an incredible resume from the independents, and not only wrestling in Japan, but also he's one of the most popular stars from Ring of Honor and the aforementioned TNA wrestling.
He was one of the beefy motherfuckers who helped put Ring of Honor on the map. He had a legendary championship rivalry against CM Punk in the early days as well, and his time in TNA wrestling is infamous. Especially, wasn't he also part of the Main Event Mafia?
He was part of the second iteration of the Main Event Mafia, which is not as cool as the first. And he also has an impressive resume taking on the wrestling icons like Sting, Kurt Angle, AJ Styles.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Samoa Joe and AJ Styles was right up there in terms of the world of rivalry over here. Gene Rick was saying Steph is the only channel that I can give memberships on. I've not been able to figure out why. And Matthew Cooper was saying this is the first of talking about the gift championship going back to the one.
Okay, yeah,
no,
that is the first.
Weird.
That is weird. And yeah, with an impressive resume like his, WWE, they were salivating when they signed Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe signed and made his debut in WWE NXT in early 2015. Now, what's interesting about this is that in Samoa Joe's initial contract with the WWE, they allowed him to continue wrestling for independent shows while being under WWE contract. That goes to show you that Triple H was flirting with the Forbidden Door long before Tony Khan made it, quote-unquote, cool. You see the quotation I'm making with my claw hand?
What? Why are you claw-handing?
I don't know. I was thinking about the Lego movie all of a sudden.
No, just do the regular two fingers.
Fine. Cool.
There you go.
Triple H made it cool before you did, Tony Khan. Get with the program.
No, he's trying to get with the program. He's trying to rip off the program.
But anyhow, and he was awesome in NXT. He had great rivalries. He appeared in his debut. He saved Sami Zayn from a brutal beatdown from Kevin Owens at NXT TakeOver Unstoppable, and he had great rivalries with Baron Corbin and several others before pivoting to the NXT Championship. Now, from late 2015 until the middle of 2016. The entire NXT Championship was revolved around the rivalry between Samoa Joe and the champion, the Demon King, Finn Balor.
Holy shit! Yeah, the way these guys were basically icons before making their way over to the WWE's developmental brand, the Black and Gold brand, as it were. Goes to show that WWE was paying close enough attention to make sure that they wanted the hottest wrestlers in the world, and they wanted to bring them into the fold of the big W.
Hells yeah!
And Kurisi was saying I can gift, but only either on my computer or on an Android phone. Yeah, that is so weird. I think it's an iPhone thingy.
It's fine. Let's move on from that. But I mean, it's weird. But I mean, how long are we going to keep talking about how
we're talking to the folks in the chat? Okay, let's not move on from that. That's a little rude. We're acknowledging what the folks are saying, and it is very weird. And that's why I always stick to Android phones. So, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. We don't do Apple.
We don't do Apple. We eat oranges.
Yes, indeed.
But I don't do Apple.
Now, Samoa Joe spent months chasing after the NXT Championship. He failed to capture it from Finn Balor at TakeOver London in December of 2015. He fought Finn Balor again at TakeOver Dallas in 2016, the night before WrestleMania 32, which was fucking awful. But Samoa Joe finally was able to get the W and beat Finn Balor for the NXT title at a house show, of all things.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Why would they? What?
I know.
What?
It's so weird, man.
What?
What?
What? I don't get it.
I don't get it either, but kudos to him. That would be his first out of his three NXT title reigns. He would successfully defend it against Finn Balor in a rematch at NXT TakeOver The End in a steel cage match.
Nice.
Which honestly is right up Samoa Joe's alley. I don't know. Like, I've seen past matches and Samoa Joe in steel cage structures. I feel like that's his, I don't want to say niche, but like, that's where he thrives best.
Yeah, no. The way I see Samoa Joe is a pro wrestler in a mixed martial artist skin over here. That's the kind of man I see him as, and that's terrifying. And I don't want to cross that.
It's okay, Juan. You don't have to. You won't have to suffer in the hands of Samoa Joe. And maybe the Devils. That was stupid. Anyways, sorry. I'm thinking AEW for a second.
No, you're
But
not.
getting back to it, after wrapping up his program with Finn Balor, Samoa Joe pivoted to the newly signed Shinsuke Nakamura, and these two had back and forth wins against each other in back-to-back pay-per-views. Nakamura knocked off Samoa Joe for the NXT title at TakeOver Brooklyn 2 in August of 2016. Samoa Joe won the title back in Toronto in November, and then in a special edition of NXT where they aired for the first time in Osaka, Japan, Shinsuke Nakamura recaptured the NXT title against Samoa Joe.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's iconic, and I don't think the WWE's been back in Japan since then, or have they?
I think well, I know they do live shows, they do live tour dates, but as far as airing like special shows or pay-per-view events, no, that's not the case. And also, why am I frozen?
Why are you frozen? Oh, I know what happened. Hang on, that's my bad. Bart and Bart. There we go.
Okay, we're good. That was scary.
Jen Pearson was saying, without my glasses on, it looks like Samoa Joe is holding an old diver's helmet. You know, the big bald brass things with like the steel fence over the single visor.
Yeah.
I think that's what she means.
That is so weird, is it? I think
I can see that. I'm squinting, and yeah, I can see what she means. That is wild.
Samoa Joe challenged Nakamura again for the NXT title in Melbourne, Australia, once again in a steel cage match, but unfortunately, the results were not to his favor as Nakamura successfully retained the title. This would be Samoa Joe's final chase for the NXT Championship before moving up to the main roster. And from 2017 until late 2019, Samoa Joe was a pretty good main eventer for the WWE when they needed one. The best programs that I could think of when it comes to Joe between Raw and SmackDown was when he challenged Brock Lesnar for the Universal title at Great Balls of Fire.
Oh my god, that stupid show, Great Balls of Fire.
That was such a dumb name. Oh my god.
Folks, I wish we were making this up. There really was. I think they only had it one time, didn't they?
It was just a one time. They had
a WWE program, and it was called Great Balls of Fire.
But it's okay, because Samoa Joe's rivalry with AJ Styles was much more entertaining than his one-time shot against Brock Lesnar. That's right. In 2018, Samoa Joe had a multi-month feud with AJ Styles for the WWE title, and then after that in 2019, Samoa Joe captured the United States Championship from Rey Mysterio. But then later in the year, as we close out 2019, Samoa Joe was set back by an unfortunate injury, which kept him sidelined from the ring.
Now, what this actually ended up doing with him in terms of him being on the main roster, Vince McMahon doesn't like Samoa Joe, kept trying to shelve him, kept trying to retire him, and that ridiculousness basically drove Samoa Joe away, and now Samoa Joe is currently working at All Elite Wrestling as the All Elite Wrestling Ring of Honor television champion.
Oh no, but before we get to that...
Right? Or...
Oh, you're almost right, but let me fill in the blanks that you left there. While healing from injury, Samoa Joe was briefly cast as one of the broadcasters, as one of the interviewers from WWE's Backstage talk show that aired on Fox Sports 1.
But then the pandemic came and...
Yeah, so they moved him to being a color commentator for Monday Night Raw, and something good came out of it, because apparently Samoa Joe won the 2020 Sports Commentator of the Year award by CBS Sports.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, I mean, look at it that way, man. Like, Samoa Joe knows how to kill it in any role he's in.
Hells yeah.
But that still goes to show that it was a terrible waste that he's got to be, set up like this.
Unfortunately, yes, and that brings back to a point that Juan made, because in 2021, Samoa Joe was amongst many wrestlers that were released from WWE due to budget cuts because of the pandemic. However, Triple H, the cerebral assassin, threw in a lifeguard for Samoa Joe and brought him back over to NXT as Sir William Regal's enforcer, which didn't really last that long.
Yeah, that's when he was gone.
Yep, Samoa Joe laced up his boots one more time and wrestled Karrion Kross to capture his third NXT title at TakeOver 36. This would be the final NXT TakeOver pay-per-view event before the god-awful multicolored rebranding of NXT 2.0, where Samoa Joe once again, well, he didn't, not once again, but Samoa Joe was forced to vacate the title due to injury, and then in 2022, Samoa Joe was released by WWE.
And was, again, big fucking mistake on Vince's part.
It was a pretty big mistake, because in an interview that Samoa Joe did for 2022, he actually talked about it, and his reasons for departing from WWE is, number one, the pandemic, and number two, he didn't agree with the creative direction that WWE was going for NXT.
I.e., he didn't like the fact that they were doing NXT 2.0, and the fact that he wasn't being allowed to wrestle!
He's your top champion!
He was one of the best champions that NXT could have ever been blessed with. Jen Pierce is saying she likes this format that we're doing tonight. Great work. Thank you.
We're doing our best.
We're just getting started over here.
Now, so Samoa Joe departed from WWE in 2022, and he made his return to wrestling at Ring of Honor's Supercard of Honor at WrestleMania weekend in 2022. And of course, the rest is history. He's wrestling for Ring of Honor. He's also wrestling for AEW. He's wrestling in the main event against MJF for the AEW World Title this Saturday. So we'll see how well it turns out for him. But for the time that he was on NXT, his presence definitely added a lot of prestige to the black and gold brand in the year 2015 when WWE were taking risks.
Damn right, and that's the way it ought to work out over here. Wait, Project Metal Music's in the chat too? There he is. Yeah, of course. Wait, yeah, no, I think that was just from him getting gifted his things. But in any case, shall we continue?
Yes, let's continue the countdown, folks. Here is number 9, Sami Zayn.
Why is this one so much bigger? God dang it, Can't keep shit straight around here, Jose. What the hell, man?
He's a big star.
That's not what I mean, you know it. Look at how clean cut and crew cut he used to be when he showed up.
No, isn't that so different from the hair that he has now?
Yeah,
from being Ginger Jesus.
Yeah, right. Like, he's not really. He can't be Ginger Jesus. He's Muslim.
Shit, you're right. That would be sacrilegious.
Yeah, no.
What if I say Ginger Messiah?
That's still no.
Damn it. Okay.
Point is, he like this weird crew cut look of his was pre him being this weird happy-go-lucky dude. This is just as Sami Zayn had been coming out of his independent scene identity as El Generico, the generic luchador.
That's right. In Ring of Honor, Sami Zayn was El Generico, where he hailed El Generico, hailing from Mexico City, Mexico, complete with a cape, with a mask, and the chant that everyone loves to chant: "Ole, ole, ole, ole." Ole! Ole!
Ole! Since then, he's grown from an indie darling to a main event darling, but he's had some interesting spots along the way. It's beginning with his path in the Black and Gold show.
That's right. After wrapping things up at Ring of Honor, Sami Zayn signed with WWE's NXT in early 2013, and one of his few rivalries...
10 years!
I know!
What?
One of his early rivalries in the Black and Gold brand was against Antonio Cesaro, a.k.a. Claudio Castagnoli from AEW.
So these guys knew each other from around the block, so the Swiss Superman going up against... was defrocked as being the genetic luchador, and now he's showing off what he could do if he's revamping his identity. So how did that turn out?
Well, from all of 2013 until early 2014, these guys have traded wins back and forth against each other. Sami Zayn and Cesaro each got a win over one another. They settled the tie in a 2 out of 3 falls match with Cesaro getting the win, and then in their final encounter at NXT Arrival, the very first NXT pay-per-view event in February 2014, Cesaro eventually got the win over Sami Zayn in an absolutely wonderful wrestling steal the show match that the fans at Full Sail University got to watch. But more importantly, for Sami Zayn, though he may have lost the match, he earned Cesaro's respect.
Well, of course. I mean, the fact that Sami Zayn basically coming in as like a brand newborn creation, brand new identity, him basically throwing himself into the deep end in a new in a new space, in a new place, just goes to show he and Cesaro, while they knew each other well enough, they also see that, hey, they can hang with each other without any sort of problem. Christy in the chat was saying Sammy kind of looks more like Fidel Castro now, especially when he was in his green outfit and that hat.
Not gonna lie, I actually like that look. I thought it was pretty cool.
Then why did you get rid of the same black hat that looks identical to his?
Oh, you mean because it fits my head too tight.
What the heck?
I have a big head. I can't help it. But getting back to it, and after that's wrapped up, Sami Zayn finally pivoted to the NXT Championship, and his opponent, the champion at the time, Adrian Neville, a.k.a. Pac from AEW. I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah.
All right.
You're probably just imagining things.
Yeah, I know.
All right, keep going.
For the rest of 2014, Sami Zayn chased after the NXT Championship, but always came up short. In his first contention for the title was a fatal 4-way match with Adrian Neville, Tyler Breeze, and Tyson Kidd, with Adrian Neville winning after some shenanigans. Sami Zayn tried to challenge Adrian Neville again later in 2014, but Adrian Neville was able to sneak another win, taking advantage of Sami Zayn's naivety when he faked an injury in the ring.
Dang, what a jerk.
I know. And to which Sami, backed against the corner and with nothing left to lose, well, sort of, he challenged Adrian Neville one more time for the title, but with a caveat. If Sami Zayn lost, he would leave NXT.
Oh no!
And at the final pay-per-view event of December in NXT TakeOver R Evolution, Sami Zayn shocked the entire world and captured the NXT Championship from Adrian Neville. The fans came unglued, the entire locker room emptied out, all the NXT wrestlers celebrated with Sami Zayn. This was a true heartfelt moment for the fans.
It was like a little Cinderella story kind of thing. He's the belle of the ball. Yay!
Unfortunately, his celebration was cut short because his BFF, Kevin Owens, who just signed with WWE and who wrestled him at Ring of Honor, slammed his ass down the ramp and powerbombed him onto the ring apron. Like, what a dick!
What?
Yeah, Kevin Owens.
How dare you?
He beat up his former best friend.
Wow, these guys are really screwed up. What a weird relationship.
I had to knock Sami Zayn down to number 9 because unfortunately his title reign was short. He defended his title against Kevin Owens in 2015 at NXT TakeOver Rival and Unstoppable, but lost to Kevin Owens due to referee stoppage, aka Kevin Owens beating the shit out of Sami Zayn to a bloody pulp and powerbombing him who knows how many times.
Yeah, that kind of puts a black mark on anyone who's been a champion, so...
But it wasn't all crappy for Sami Zayn because during his title run, he actually got a small taste of Monday Night Raw in a special episode in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, when Bret the Hitman Hart, WWE Hall of Famer, announced Sami Zayn to be the opponent to challenge John Cena for the United States title.
Yay! That was fun.
That was fun. And even though John Cena retained, Sami Zayn got one hell of an ovation from his hometown. It was amazing. The fans loved it.
Why wouldn't they? I mean, come on. Sami Zayn in his hometown challenging John Cena, being introed out by Bret the Hitman Hart. I mean, that's like Canucks' wet dream come true.
Yeah.
For, professional wrestling over here.
Now, Sami Zayn did have to take time off of wrestling due to a dislocated shoulder he suffered from in his match against Cena. And when he returned, his time in NXT was very limited. His final match was against Shinsuke Nakamura at NXT TakeOver Dallas, and after Nakamura won the match, Sami Zayn left off with bowing to everyone and bidding everyone well, as since the match was his official swan song before going over to Raw and SmackDown. And even though his title reign was short, and even though he didn't have that many wins under his belt, like, I can see why fans love him. Number one, first of all, he's a great, awesome, like, he's just a really cool, like, blue-hearted individual, like, who you can't help but love. I mean, some people are just born to be beloved.
And he's such a sweetheart. He's such a goofy goober. Even without him being overtly goofy, why would, like, who could look at that face and hate him? You know,
exactly.
I remember when he went ahead and did that one promo last year with the Bloodline, where he coined feeling Uzi, and everyone was just going nuts over Uzi, and what's his face. And when Roman actually said, like, you know what, I'm going to take that honorary off his name and just name him Sammy Uso, y'all.
That was really good.
And the freaking smile on Sami Zayn's face was like a kid at Christmas. Like, yeah, me, really? I get to be an Uso? Yeah.
It's the face that Juan makes anytime CM Punk is on TV. God. I'm glad you resisted doing that stupid zoom in that WWE likes to do.
No.
But yeah, and like I said earlier, yeah, he may not have had a lot of wins, but the fans didn't care. Like, the championship was not the story. So his chase for the title, his chase for respect, his battle against adversity, that's what got folks to gravitate towards Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn is good in telling stories in the ring. The story of this underdog wrestler that came out of the independents, who's trying really hard to battle through all the adversity, battle through all the hurdles of what other WWE superstars, like, they didn't have to work hard for. And yeah, no, I mean, there's not much else to say.
He's a little engine that could. He think he can. Yeah, and he does again, over and over, like a boss, and he's wonderful at it.
Hells yeah, man. And you know what? We all love him for it, right?
We're all feeling Uzi now, thanks to Sami Zayn.
Yeah. And now let's move on to the countdown, Juancho. Now time to go for number 8, the artist, Shinsuke Nakamura.
I have to play this version of it. Yeah, I know it's been 5 years, but god dang it. This is worth it. Just the king of strong style making his way from the lands of New Japan Pro Wrestling, a former mixed martial artist and now multi-time champion. He made his debut for the WWE in the early days of the Black and Gold brand. That's why I had to play this version of his first entrance theme with Nita Strauss on the axe, ripping it up like there was no tomorrow. No, I don't give a damn.
You're fine.
I'll fucking do it again.
You're fine. Just keep the volume low so that we don't get flagged by YouTube.
Why do you think I'm yelling into it?
All right. But yes, that's right, folks. The artist, Shinsuke Nakamura, hailing from from Kyoto, Japan, and one of the graduates from Antonio Inoki's wrestling school.
Yep. So he's basically straight out from the most prestigious learning trees of one of the most prestigious learning trees in professional wrestling, and like I said, a former mixed martial artist as well, migrating over to the world of pro wrestling. That just goes to show you this mofo's got what it takes. He started off looking way different from this. Like, he used to be very clean cut, very crew cut looking guy, but nah.
Yeah.
Now he's developed his style, like this sex god of rock and roll kind of personality. It was just horrifying and beautiful at the same time.
So going back to my earlier point, 2015 was the year when WWE NXT took risks, not just in hosting pay-per-view events outside of the Full Sail University, but also signing some really some prominent independent talent from the wrestling world, not just in the States, but also overseas to get some international exposure. The WWE at the time succeeded in signing over Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow, but they did it so nice that lightning. There is an old saying. What was the saying? Like lightning strikes twice.
Lightning never strikes the same place twice. But in this case, yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does, suckers.
Shinsuke Nakamura made his debut in late 2015, yeah, it says it all. Like, he is an international sensation. He has built a reputation for himself in New Japan, being one of the few people in New Japan to challenge Brock Lesnar.
And live. It doesn't matter whether or not he won or he lost. He survived Brock Lesnar. That's the problem. And if you don't survive Brock Lesnar, you're fucked.
Yep. And as I mentioned earlier, Shinsuke Nakamura's one of his first rivalries was against his biggest rivalry was against Samoa Joe, where he captured the NXT Championship from Samoa Joe at TakeOver Brooklyn in 2016. And as I mentioned earlier, these two traded back and forth wins until at the end of 2016, when Shinsuke Nakamura not only captured but retained his second championship reign against Joe in Melbourne, Australia.
Which was sweet.
Oh yeah, he continued his winning ways as champion until he crossed paths with another former TNA alumni wrestler, Bobby Roode. I'm sorry, Robert Roode.
Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode. Booby Roode. Yeah, no. Yeah, Bobby Roode would be the one to dethrone the artist to capture the NXT title, and Shinsuke Nakamura would spend months chasing after the gold, but would come up short, unfortunately. But afterwards, the WWE was paying attention to what NXT was producing, and they brought Nakamura up to SmackDown in one of his early feuds against Dolph Ziggler.
It's wait, seriously, that's how he brought himself forward up to the main roster, isn't it?
Yep, and the fans love it. His presentation, his look, the freaking entrance.
I mean, listen, I was over here rocking out with the WrestleMania version of it. When he showed up on the main roster, he had his violinist come out rocking his song live while they were playing it at the same time. I mean, how much bigger and how much more big dick energy do you need from a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura in that sort of presentation?
Hell yeah, and in early 2018, it looked like WWE were actually going to try something different when Shinsuke Nakamura won the 2018 Royal Rumble match.
Right? That was phenomenal. How the hell, why the hell would they not give him a shot further than that? I mean, that would have been fantastic.
First of all, unintentional segue. Yeah, that actually led to WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, where Shinsuke Nakamura fought against the phenomenal AJ Styles for the WWE title, but came up short in the semi-main event. And yeah, no, Juan brings up a good point. How awesome would it have been if WWE actually made history and let Shinsuke Nakamura officially capture the WWE Championship?
That would have been incredible. Shit, even AJ Styles would have been like, you know what, that would have been awesome, and I would have freaking raised his hand or whatever. But no, their rivalry kind of, what did it end up boiling down to? Oh yeah, the nut shots, right?
Yeah,
the pinchasas all over the place.
The phenomenal bull arm.
Yeah, the freaking Tiger Woods uppercuts into both of their balls.
Okay, but you know what?
That's Vince writing right there.
That is Vince writing, but you know what? It's at least a little bit more entertaining than his rivalry with Jinder Mahal for the WWE title. They
had a rivalry?
In 2017. That was bad. It was very, very bad.
Be that as it may, Shinsuke Nakamura set himself up as a trailblazer in NXT and took that exact same blaze that he lit up in the black and gold brand and brought it forward to his persona in the main roster, and has been on fire off and on for the last few years since then.
Hells yeah! Great way to wrap it up, Juancho. You see, I'm not the one who could come up with clever shit to say.
Well, you kind of are, but you say you're not the only one.
I'm not the only one. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, you're not the only one.
All right, let's continue the countdown with number 7, Braun Breaker.
Oh, shit.
Now, unfortunately, if we're going to talk about Braun Breaker, we have to address the downside of NXT. So here we go, folks.
No, I don't.
Yes, we do.
No, I don't. I don't have to. We don't have to address shit. We don't gotta say shit.
From October to 2019 until April of 2020. Oh my God, Juan! You cannot ignore history.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. La 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 la. If I don't believe it, it's not real. La la la.
Oh my God!
They didn't go tie-dyed. La 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 la.
From October of 2019 until April of 2021, WWE got their asses handed royally by AEW in their Wednesday night war between AEW Dynamite and WWE NXT.
So much so that NXT was sent retreating to Tuesday nights, and Vince McMahon decided to have a much more direct hands-on approach with the production of NXT, rebranding it as NXT 2.0, throwing a gigantic splash of tie-dye unicorn vomit all over the place, and personally writing the character storylines for people, which you can tell is Vince writing.
It's
fucking horrible. However, one of the few things that came out of it that was actually, hopeful was Braun Breaker.
That's right. Braun Breaker, the son of WWE Hall of Famer Rick Steiner, one half of the Steiner brothers. Braun Breaker, before joining WWE, actually played college football in the University of Michigan, if I remember correctly.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. And when he made his debut in the very first match on September of 2021, he made an impact in a big way. He opened up the show and beat LA Knight in his very first match.
Shit!
How cool is that?
Yeah, no, that was insane. But LA Knight was the top guy of NXT at that point, wasn't he?
He was one of the top guys, that's for sure, who transitioned over from Black and Gold. But Braun Breaker, he was one of the very few NXT 2.0 prospects that definitely returned. Returned the investment. And even though he wasn't technically sound, he wasn't as how do I say it? Help me out here.
He was green as goose shit.
He was green as goose shit, but at the same time, he wasn't Goldberg green. He wasn't Greenberg. He actually proved that he was a student of the game. The way WWE booked him, they kept him undefeated, taking out one guy after another every week on NXT. He did challenge for the NXT Championship against Tommaso Ciampa at Halloween Havoc, but came up short. But there is a saying: there's much more money to be had for the chase, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the quest of becoming a champion is just as enthralling and as engaging as having and holding the championship for a while.
Absolutely. And his destiny was finally fulfilled in January of 2022 when Braun Breaker dethroned Tommaso Ciampa to capture the NXT title at New Year's Evil. And then WWE really screwed the pooch. On March of 2022 at NXT Roadblock in a television special, Braun Breaker lost the championship to Dolph Ziggler in a triple threat match also involving Tommaso Ciampa.
What?
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 Why?
I don't know why. It made no damn sense. Dolph Ziggler didn't need the NXT title.
No, he really didn't.
Yep. And Dolph Ziggler would defend the championship against Braun Breaker at NXT Stand and Deliver during WrestleMania weekend in April of 2022, with Braun Breaker coming up short. And here's what gets weird. Not that Braun Breaker lost in his rematch to win back the NXT title, but following WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw, in the fallout of WrestleMania, Braun Breaker beat Dolph Ziggler for the NXT title. Tell me if that makes any sense to you.
No, this doesn't. Who would do this? What?
Only people in Greenwich would do this.
God damn.
God damn it. The booking made absolutely no sense. Why would you?
Yeah, you could tell it made no fucking sense. Point is, Vince McMahon overcorrected, thought that, the way we're going to do this is if I'm personally in charge of NXT and not micromanage it all to hell, pal. But no, fucking no. Fuck you. We're glad you're gone, you old fuck.
And thankfully, his second reign as Braun Breaker's second reign as NXT champion was much better than his first. He successfully defended his title for an entire year, fending off the likes of Joe Gacy, Cameron Grimes, JD McDonough, Grayson Waller.
Carmelo Hayes, right?
No, not Carmelo Hayes.
He didn't face Melo?
No, he did, but I'm going to get to him in a bit. He pretty much took out every person in the NXT roster, and in a historical moment at NXT's Worlds Collide in September of 2022, the same Sunday as AEW's All Out, where they were counter programming. Now let the internet have fun with that shit.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker defeated Tyler Bate to unify the NXT Championship and the NXT UK title.
I remember that. That was wonderful. Yeah, the big strong boy, Tyler Bate, put on a hell of a show. At the end of the day, Tyler Bate's technical prowess couldn't meet the brute force of Braun Breaker.
Absolutely. And like I said, Braun Breaker's undefeated streak would come to an end at this year's Stand and Deliver in April 2023 when Carmelo Hayes, the number one contender, defeated Braun Breaker for the NXT title.
That's where it is.
That's where. Yep. Braun Breaker, and apparently WWE thought it was a right time for Braun Breaker to turn heel and challenge again for the NXT Championship at the, I believe it was at, no, not Spring Break-In, I'm trying to think. No, it was at NXT Battleground at the end of May where Braun Breaker came up short. And then since then, he really didn't do much as far as the championship goes. Like, he's still chugging along on NXT, wrestling as a heel, but he's like in different feuds with different rivalries with different wrestlers, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which goes to show, obviously Braun Breaker, he's got... I don't want to say that. No, I was about to say it. Oh, god damn it. Ah!
He's got that dog in there. Ah! Now we got to look for that meme picture.
No,
of that
I
one
don't.
Cute... Oh.
No, we don't.
Fine.
No, we don't. I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction this time, Jose.
Now, there's been a lot of talk about Braun Breaker during the time that whether or not if WWE were going to call him up to the main roster,
which I'm still waiting on.
We're still waiting on it. I mean, for right now, it feels like the good time for him to do it. Like, yeah, NXT 2.0, it was very arduous. It was very rough for us to get through throughout the entire year.
It hurt so much. It hurt my soul.
But for the time that it was there, for that 1 year that it existed, Braun Breaker was one of the few reasons that me and Juan tuned in on Tuesday nights.
Thank you, Braun, for making the bitter medicine go down better. Oh, wrong one.
No, you're fine, Juan.
Here we go.
Now let's continue the countdown with number 6, Andrade Cien Almas.
Dear Lord, how many, okay, you need to work on your scaling here for me, Jose. Help me out, mofo. What the hell?
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You're competent. I'm sorry.
All right, so let's not kid ourselves, Juancho. Since the passing of WWE Hall of Famer, the late great Eddie Guerrero in November of 2005, WWE has been trying their hardest
and failing miserably
to look for the next top Latino star.
They had something with Do we
want to say Rey Mysterio?
Alberto Del Rio.
Oh
for
God,
5
no!
minutes.
No!
But no.
Yeah, no.
No.
And can we really count Rey Mysterio?
Rey Mysterio's already right there at the same level. Now they made him like the proxy of Eddie's exploitation, which was horrendous to go through. But that's a whole nother can of worms there.
Yeah, I know. They've tried and failed. Yeah.
Andrade Cien Almas here, also known as Andrade del Idolo in AEW right now. Andrade, for the love of God, come home. Zelina misses hanging out with her brother.
And Charlotte Flair misses you.
Yeah, for real. You think about it. Your wife and your work wife are waiting for you, man. Come home. Come home, Andrade.
But yes, Juan does have a point. Andrade Cien Almas would prove to be the exception to the WWE and their track record with Latino stars.
Right? It was it's like the way that he's handled himself in NXT during his time there, along with his valet / aforementioned sidekick Zelina Vega. Like the two of them were an unstoppable tag team. They had charisma, they had chemistry, and you knew that they were just like BFFs FL like best friends for freaking ever. For life or whatever,
Yeah.
And the fact that they were having fun while Zelina was being the sneaky heel manager biatch, while Andrade was still throwing out an excellent blend of lucha libre style acrobatics with a little bit more of a technical flair for a man of his size.
Absolutely, and with that combination, that definitely elevated him into the main event picture. He challenged Drew McIntyre for the NXT Championship at the first ever NXT TakeOver War Games!
No, Jose, no.
Oh, we have to do it right?
Yes, we have to do it right, or we don't get to do it at all. Those are the rules. We live in a society. They're not animals. There are rules.
Okay, fine.
Okay?
Then let's do it right, then.
Yeah, we're going to freaking do it right, and you
at
can't...
NXT TakeOver...
War Games!
War Games!
Oh, here it is! War Games! War Games!
Okay. Back in 2017. Thank you for that.
That's how you do it. You either have William Regal do it right, or you don't get to say it at all.
Andrade Cien Almas captured his first NXT Championship against the Scottish Warrior and has defended the title successfully until April of 2018. However, before we get to that, we have to talk about one of the greatest WWE matches of all time. Andrade Cien Almas defending the NXT Championship against Johnny Gargano at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia in January of 2018.
Okay, you gotta have to walk me through that match, Jose.
It was amazing. Like, before the championship, Andrade and Johnny Gargano, there is a story behind it, with Andrade having 3 wins already over Gargano, 3-0, and the story is that anytime they're in the ring, Andrade always has Johnny Gargano's number. And Gargano was hoping to turn that luck around, but in a long 1-hour main event of Philadelphia, these guys put on a great show. Andrade successfully defended the title, and this is one of the very few WWE matches that earned a 5-star rating from Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Yeah, he doesn't just hand those out to anybody just because they're his best friends or because he thinks it'll get him cool points with the cool brownie points with the cool kids. No, Dave Meltzer is a man of principle.
Well, I mean,
I'm fucking lying. He's a stooge.
Okay, back in 2018, it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was.
It was. And yeah, no, everything about it was great. The story that they told, the match itself, and even the special entrance that Andrade had in the main event. Like, he had an entire freaking mariachi band playing for him.
It was wonderful.
It was great. I loved it.
It's a hell of an entrance.
It's one hell of an entrance. Andrade would continue his reign as champion until NXT TakeOver New Orleans in April of 2018, where he dropped the belt to Aleister Black, a.k.a. Malachi Black.
And that one was a hell of a letdown over here. We honestly thought that he could take down the Dark Spectre, known as Aleister Black, but unfortunately, he was too much for Andrade to handle.
And then after that's wrapped up, his time he moved over to the main roster, and in between Raw and SmackDown, his main roster run was a mixed bag. Like, he I don't know, he got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, it was disappointing.
It was disappointing until his departure from WWE in 2021.
Which is, again, disappointing. I mean, like, him and Zelina, just have them, like run roughshod. Have them challenge for, like, the IC title or the US title. Come on, man.
But then
it ain't that hard, but apparently that's that hard.
Yeah, but then again, his current run right now in AEW is no better.
What run?
Exactly. But that being said, despite his luck after his time in NXT, like, WWE, for a moment, for a brief time, they actually showed that they could produce a top Latino star.
And hopefully we have other fine folks like Santos Escobar who can carry that same identity torch forward into the future. That and, of course, Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Damian Priest,
yes.
Both of whom are Latino superstars, is seeing if they can hold it down as well.
And don't forget Dragon Lee.
I'm going to forget Dragon Lee all day long. I don't give a damn.
Hey!
I'm joking.
Okay.
But yeah, no. But of course, Andrade Cien Almas helped bring that resurgence back, and he gave us Zelina Vega, which I will always be thankful for.
Yay!
Zelina, she is the man. She's the baddest bitch I've ever known. She's a homegirl from Queens. She ain't no Jenny from the block. She'll fuck you up.
Indeed, she can.
Why am I marking more for Zelina? Well, because she's hot. Anyway.
I know. But now let's get back to the countdown, because speaking of Andrade's opponent, he's next on our list here. Number 5, Johnny Gargano.
All right, so Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Impact, Johnny Worldwide, Johnny. How many freaking nicknames has Gargano had?
He's got more nicknames than I have sunglasses.
And Jose has too many sunglasses.
Right? Damn, man.
All right.
All
right, Spill. Tell us about this nerd that we've come to love.
Yep, Johnny Gargano, another one of the one of the beloved indie darlings from the wrestling scene. Believe it or not, one of his matches, I actually looked it up, was when he teamed with his wife Candice LeRae, and they beat the shit out of the Young Bucks. So he's already good. He's already good in my book.
Wait, that was in the indie scene.
Yeah, that was in the indie scene. But
I was about to say,
I'll take it. Johnny Gargano actually got his start at WWE in 2016 during the Cruiserweight Classic. One of WWE's experimental ideas that they tried, and it was a great tournament because it had wrestlers also from who wrestled in New Japan participating in the tournament. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, both real life friends, competed in the tournament, with Gargano advancing. Although Johnny Gargano didn't win the tournament, both Johnny and Tommaso Ciampa stayed on NXT as part of an awesome tag team called DIY.
And unfortunately, the tag team did eventually fall apart, but that didn't mean that Johnny Gargano was going to be alone. He knew the way, and he helped build the way, and that actually consisted of himself, Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, and her Indy Hartwell's boyfriend / rival to Johnny Gargano / husband / eventual adopted brother-in-law, Dexter Lumis. Which, by the way, where the hell is Dexter Lumis?
I have no idea.
I miss my Dexter Lumis. I want them to show us the way.
Austin Theory was there for a short time, but who's counting?
Yeah.
Yeah. But before we get to all of that,
you're right. Austin Theory was part of the way.
Yeah, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa captured the NXT titles, and then after they lost the titles to the Authors of Pain, Johnny Gargano's most of it, his run in NXT, most of it was defined by his rivalry against his best friend Tommaso Ciampa. It was a long rivalry that stretched from 2017, took a break in the middle, up until 2020.
What?
Yeah. That many years. Let's see. 17, 18, 19, 20. 4-year-long rivalry.
Long-term storytelling, pal.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it? And Johnny Gargano had his taste. He did challenge for the NXT title a couple of times, but came up short. He lost to Andrade Cien Almas. He wasn't able to capture it from Tommaso Ciampa, but luck would turn around for Johnny Gargano in 2019, but under the most unfortunate circumstances. Around April of 2019, it was reported that Tommaso Ciampa had broken his neck and was forced to vacate the NXT Championship.
That sucked.
So Johnny Gargano competed at NXT TakeOver New York in 2019, defeating Adam Cole in a 2 out of 3 falls match to capture the NXT Championship.
Seriously? That's how he did it?
That's how he did it.
God damn.
Yeah, man. And you know what? Give him extra kudo points because anytime he goes to the ring, he's always rocking like different ring gear based on like different characters that he likes from Marvel Comics. And for this occasion, it was Iron Man.
It was wonderful. Like you said, when he went Iron Man on this one, it was freaking hilarious. I loved it.
Yes, it was. Now, unfortunately, his reign was short because he then lost the championship to Adam Cole at NXT TakeOver 25 later in May. So yeah, his run was short, but He's on the countdown because he is the only, as far as I know, he's the only Triple Crown NXT champion. He's captured the NXT title, the North American title, the tag team title. He's pretty much in the same category as Sami Zayn, being one of the most beloved indie wrestlers that folks love to watch because he can tell amazing stories.
And lo and behold, that's why Johnny Wrestling here, Johnny Gargano, he's worthy of always being a part of like the legacy of NXT up to this point. And ain't nobody gonna be able to deny that.
And of course, yeah, as Juan mentioned, his bit with the way and turning heel and having the other folks that he mentioned, that was very entertaining.
Yeah, you did mention Austin Theory in there as well. Seriously, the way just need to come back. I want I support indie wrestling also. I want Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano, along with a little bit of Austin Theory, because Austin, he's got his own thing going on with Grayson Waller. But it'd be funny to see them coming back like, hey buddy, you want to come back with us? But he's hanging with Grayson Waller at the moment. It's like, nah, I'm in with the wrong crowd, and it'd be fucking hilarious.
But it's okay. Right now, Johnny Gargano is doing well for himself. He reunited with Tommaso Ciampa as DIY, and they're doing pretty good on.
Be part of the way. Give me indie wrestling. Give me Dexter Lumis. Give me Candice LeRae, for God's sake. I want to see them have hijinks as well as part of being with DIY. Put them together. It prints money, man.
He's not wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm right.
All right. But let's go ahead and move on with the countdown, Juancho. Now we're going to go to number 4. Speaking of Gargano's opponents.
Hang on. Why is he so tiny? Oh, yeah.
Adam Cole, baby!
All right, so if you guys already know Adam Cole, baby, you know what we believe about him. You know how Jose loves the Undisputed Era. You know that Adam Cole, baby, has been a mainstay of independent wrestling for a number of years before he ever wrestled between the ropes of the Black and Gold brand. But Jose will tell us all about his harrowing tales and how his faction became undisputed.
Absolutely. Adam Cole is one of the many independent wrestling folk heroes for in our generation. A former member of the Bullet Club. He's wrestled in New Japan. He's wrestled in Ring of Honor. And he signed with the WWE in 2017 after wrapping up his business with the Independents. He made his debut in a hard way at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. With Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly destroying Drew McIntyre after McIntyre won the NXT Championship in the main event.
Shit!
That was when the Undisputed Era was born.
And that's how he had Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Bobby Fish.
That's right. That's right. These 4 would dominate and run roughshod over the NXT roster from 2017 all the way until they broke up around 2020 or 2021. Yeah, 2021. Yeah, for 5 years, the Undisputed Era was running roughshod, and with the group came championships. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly would capture the NXT titles. Roderick Strong would eventually capture the North American title in the first USA Network broadcast of NXT.
Right.
And as for Adam Cole, baby, as I mentioned earlier, he fought Johnny Gargano at TakeOver New York, failed to capture the title then in April, but was able to capture the gold the following month at TakeOver 25. And as the champion, he fended off against Johnny Gargano in the rematch in Toronto, and he fended off against many other opponents. He fended off against Velveteen Dream.
The Dream has no memory of this.
Thank you. He also fended off against Finn Balor, Tommaso Ciampa. He had a really solid run from May of 2019 until July of 2020. Over an entire year of Adam Cole on top as NXT champion.
And that was a hell of a year though. Unfortunately, for some reason or another, Vince being an idiot, Adam Cole never got to see the main roster, which is the real gigantic setback for a guy who's clearly got charisma, who's clearly got personality, who's clearly got more than enough wrestling bona fides in order to be able to make himself an asset to the main event. But instead, what did Vince want him to do? Oh yeah, I need you to be Keith Lee's mouthpiece.
Speaking of Keith Lee.
What?
Yeah, no, we're gonna get to him. Speaking of Keith Lee, Adam Cole's reign would come to an end at the first ever NXT Great American Bash in July of 2020, where Adam Cole lost the NXT Championship to Keith Lee, thus crowning Keith Lee as a double champion, NXT and North American champion. So good on him, and good on Adam Cole. They had a great match. And then afterwards, Adam Cole would continue to be on NXT until late 2021. He had a rivalry against Kyle O'Reilly, and
the Undisputed Era was fracturing. This is terrible.
Yep, and like Juan said, WWE really didn't see the
Vince. Let's
say Vince.
Let's not drag the whole company.
Yeah, no. Vince did not see Adam Cole as the top guy because, unfortunately, Adam Cole,
He's too small, pal.
he didn't have the build.
You know, you look like you could be a great manager, pal. You could be Keith Lee's manager. Oh,
Yeah.
think about it, pal.
Rather
You look
than
great in a suit, pal.
Unsurprisingly, Adam Cole didn't care for that piece of business as being anyone's manager and left the WWE after his contract had expired. He then made his debut for All Elite Wrestling at AEW's All Out in September of 2021, which we've said many times is the number one best pay-per-view event in AEW history because it not only featured Adam Cole Bebe, but also the debut of the American Dragon Bryan Danielson and the in-ring return of CM Punk.
And that one was a show for the ages. To this date, still hasn't had that big of a domestic buy-in for a buy rate for AEW's history. And Adam Cole, was along for the ride and has made his way through AEW ever since.
I think the best way to compare Adam Cole is he's basically like the modern era Shawn Michaels. He may not have the build. Okay,
Shawn Michaels.
Let me
explain.
Let me put a little asterisk there.
Please, except for the Playgirl magazine.
Except for the Playgirl. All right, yeah.
Serialized drug use
and the alcohol abuse.
Except for the man whoring around
and the prima donna attitude.
Yeah, and the prima donna attitude where he wouldn't drop it to this generation's version of Bret Hart.
I make the comparison only because of Adam Cole is an example of, hey, you don't need to be a big and bulky guy just to be popular. If you have an awesome personality and if you have the ability to talk people into the building and tell stories in the ring, then that's more than good enough. And with a background with Adam Cole, come on, man.
Yeah, except that, please don't, that can be said about any wrestler with a lot of talent and potential. Please, for the love of God, don't compare it to Shawn Michaels.
Fair enough. All right.
It kind of comes off pejorative.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, but his stand in professional wrestling, and especially in NXT, is, as we said, undisputed.
Yes. All right, and now we're finally getting ready to. We're going into the final 3 of the countdown, folks. But let's turn to the live chat. Let's see here.
Project Metal Music made his way into the chat, and he said thank you to Jen Pearson for the gift membership.
Yay! Awesome. Very good. You guys are fantastic. You guys are great.
I know.
And I hope you guys are enjoying this countdown. Like I said, this is the first time that we're doing this here on Wrestle Rewind.
Jose wanted to try to get this done as just audio on its own, but I was telling him, dude, the people need to see your face. People need to see how you interact with them and with this stuff. It helps. It helps with you.
Fair enough. And I thank you for talking me into it. All right.
No problem.
Now let's continue the countdown. Juan, it's time to reveal number 3.
Number 3, KO Kevin fucking Owens, man.
Hells yeah. Kevin Owens, another wrestler that came from the same stomping grounds of Ring of Honor as Sami Zayn and Claudio Castagnoli. Kevin Owens made his debut in 2014, and he was and at the time the WWE or rather NXT or rather Triple H was making a big deal of this signing with KO. And Kevin Owens he started off as a babyface. He had good wrestling matches on NXT in 2014 up until our Evolution in December when he turned on his best friend Sami Zayn. And
yeah, you guys remember, hey, continuity.
Yep. At NXT TakeOver rival and unstoppable, Kevin Owens not only captured the NXT Championship, but also beat the shit out of his best friend on both pay-per-views back to back.
Why, Kevin? Why? Because he's a douche.
Yeah, he is a
He was a
douchebag.
gigantic douchebag.
Hell yeah, Kevin Owens would continue his evil ways as champion until he ran into a roadblock. That is the Demon King, Finn Balor.
That's when shit got real for KO over here. Even though Kevin Owens was a gigantic dude in comparison in terms of size and frame to Finn Balor, Kevin Owens could move. He could move fast. He was a freaking runaway bulldozer, and that's a freaking danger. But that's not to say that the Demon King himself, Finn Balor, the founder of Bullet Club, let's never forget that, was going to be deterred. The fact of the matter is, Finn Balor took the challenge of Kevin Owens head on, and like you said, considering that he tapped into his persona of the Demon King in order to face him, that's how you knew how serious Finn Balor took the threat of Kevin Owens.
Absolutely, and at the height of the summer of 2015, the WWE went overseas over to Japan for their pay-per-view event called The Beast in the East, and that was when the Demon King, Finn Balor, dethroned Kevin Owens for the NXT title.
It was hilarious, and I love it because it's kind of home turf territory for Finn Balor. Like I said, he is the founder of Bullet Club. He was which was founded in New Japan Pro Wrestling and has had itself become different factions and spread out to other promotions ever since. The fact that the Demon King version of him was the one that defeated Kevin Owens, and he did it in Japan, was a big way of sort of putting the seal of approval, if you would, of the Bullet Club stomping grounds and the origins of it to Finn Balor's legacy. But that didn't mean that Kevin Owens didn't put up a hell of a fight.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It was one hell of a match for Kevin Owens. But it was also important to note that during his reign as NXT champion, much like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens got a taste of Monday Night Raw, where while he was feuding with Finn Balor for the NXT title, he was also feuding with John Cena at the time, who was the United States champion. These two champions faced off at Elimination Chamber 2015, where Kevin Owens destroyed the C Nation leader.
Shit!
He didn't beat him; he destroyed him.
He whipped the crap out of Cena.
Yeah. Like these two had a great rivalry, like exchanging wins back and forth until John Cena beat Kevin Owens in a rubber match. I think it was at Money in the Bank 2015, where he successfully defended the United States title.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And now getting back to Finn Balor, Kevin Owens would challenge Finn Balor for a rematch for the title at the first ever NXT TakeOver Brooklyn pay-per-view event in 2015, same weekend as SummerSlam, in a ladder match, but Kevin Owens came up short. And then after his business in NXT wrapped up, he made his debut in the main roster, and from 2016 until now, again, it's a very complicated because he was the second WWE Universal Champion in history, so that's a pretty big deal,
right?
Yeah,
it is. The problem was that I gotta say, the WWE Universal Championship, it's kind of a snake bit title, because 99% of the time the guy is dethroned by relinquishing the championship,
or
due to being injured,
or in Kevin Owens' case, losing to Goldberg in a matter of minutes.
Ow.
Yeah, I know. That really hurt him.
The knockout artist himself, KO, Kevin Owens, he went ahead and is now making a name for himself with his old rival / BFFFL, Sami Zayn, going after the likes of the Bloodline and going after the fourth wall. Notice how Kevin Owens is the one who points out the weird tropes and memes that you have on TV, on televised professional wrestling these days.
I love that.
But what are you doing here? You're not supposed to come down unless we call you out, unless we mention your name. You're breaking the rules. That's an unwritten rule, and you're not supposed to do that. He got fucked up after Elias and Ezekiel messed with his brain.
That was very.
Sami Zayn, they broke what do you call it? Kevin Owens' brain got busted by Ezekiel. I'm really sad that we can no longer speak with Zeke though.
I know, but Kevin Owens has proven that he also has personality, and he's really good at cutting promos and getting away with these funny segments. In fact, like his height of the career for now was when he main evented night 1 of WrestleMania 2022 in Dallas, facing off against Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And that is something that that's a feather he could wear on his cap pretty much for the rest of his life.
Hells yeah. He would make sporadic appearances at NXT when they needed him to, but yeah, he's showing that like Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, he's one of the many proven commodities that helped, elevate the NXT as a brand.
That's as good a place as any to set it for him. So, who's our runner-up, Jose?
Speaking of Kevin Owens' opponent, number 2, the Demon King himself, Finn Balor.
Oh, yes! A.K.A. Prince Devitt. Like we mentioned multiple times, the founder of Bullet Club, the most infamous Gaijin heel faction to come out of New Japan Pro Wrestling, which infected the likes of the independent wrestling promotion, and has found its own versions and iterations in the WWE. What was it? Balor Club, the boys being back in town. I believe it's thanks to Finn Balor, along with the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows,
yep,
that they helped establish the OC here, and they also helped make Bullet Club for the ladies by introducing Mia Yim as part of their crew. Am I right?
Well, that was with AJ Styles as the leader.
Oh yeah, that was with AJ Styles. My bad.
You're fine, but
because that's when him and Judgment was in Judgment Day, and AJ Styles was in the OC. My bad. My mistake. Got it mixed up. So
you're fine.
Go ahead. Tell us about how Finn Balor is one of the most memorable, but just the silver medal in your list of NXT champions.
Okay, so with Finn Balor, not only does he have the skills, not only is he the founder of the Bullet Club, not only is he another one of the many legendary wrestlers to come from the independents to sign with WWE, but everything about him is awesome. Like his presentation as the Demon King, he would come down to the ring like on special pay-per-view events and donning the demon look with the body paint all over his head, all over his chest, and with the dreads coming out. It was an incredible entrance. It was unique. It was awesome. The fans loved it, and his popularity, dude, it was inevitable that Finn Balor would have a meteoric rise in popularity in NXT, and that meteoric rise took him all the way to the tippy top.
Holy shit.
As I mentioned earlier, Finn Balor challenged and successfully defeated Kevin Owens for the NXT title in the Beast in the East when WWE made their pay-per-view event in Japan in 2015. And he successfully defended the championship against Kevin Owens in their rematch at TakeOver Brooklyn in August.
That was one for the ages. That's all I'm all about it.
Yep. His first reign as NXT champion was awesome. He defended the title against Sami Zayn, against Apollo Crews, and until he crossed paths with Samoa Joe. As I mentioned earlier on the countdown, Finn Balor bested Samoa Joe at TakeOver London in December and at TakeOver Dallas in April of 2016 until he lost the championship to Samoa Joe at a house show. Again, weird circumstance.
House shows, really? I don't get it. Why would you do that?
I don't know, man.
It's fine.
After he invoked his rematch clause, he unfortunately didn't get a chance to recapture the NXT title for the time being against Samoa Joe at TakeOver The End. That would be the end of Finn Balor's run in NXT in 2016. He then made his debut in the main roster, becoming the first inaugural WWE Universal Champion for Monday Night Raw. Unfortunately, his reign was cut short because he had to vacate the title due to the dislocated shoulder that he suffered wrestling Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. That would come back a little later on. Yeah, I know.
I said it, Jose. The best way for Universal Champions to have lost their championship was to have to vacate it due to injury.
I know. And during his main roster,
When I'm telling lies.
you're not. But yeah, his main roster run was also very mixed. Like, he had a very silly rivalry with Bray Wyatt, which I'm not going to touch on because it's too embarrassing, and I don't want to do a disservice to Bray Wyatt. But after his crazy run on between Raw and SmackDown, Finn Balor returned to NXT in late 2019. And he returned as a heel. He would challenge but come up short for the NXT Championship against Adam Cole, baby, until later in 2020. I believe it was 2020. I'm trying to remember here. Bear with me, folks. Let me think. It was 2020.
Live research / remembering.
Nope, I remember now. Not 20. Yeah, no, it was NXT Takeover 31, I believe, when Finn Balor captured his second NXT Championship. Let me look up the circumstances for you. Yeah, live research. Here we go, folks. Oh my God.
This is how you know we're legit.
Hey, to my credit, I was doing well without having to look at my phone.
You were doing very well. You made it just to the next to last champion on your list.
Yay!
Totally understandable.
Thank you. Oh God. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Yep, I was right. All right, so NXT TakeOver 31 in September of 2020. Around that time, Karrion Kross, who was the defending champion, he won his first NXT title, but he had to vacate it due to a dislocated shoulder. And Finn Balor captured the vacated NXT Championship in his one-on-one match against Kyle O'Reilly to become a two-time NXT champion.
And that's where shit hit the fan for what was left of the splintering faction of the Undisputed Era.
Yep.
Not to mention how this continued to build up the stock of Finn Balor.
Yep, from September 2020 until April of 2021, Finn Balor would defend his second title reign against Kyle O'Reilly, against Roderick Strong, against Pete Dunne, against a lot of opponents that were in the roster at the time, until the returning Karrion Kross came back and dethroned Finn Balor for the NXT title at TakeOver Stand and Deliver 2021.
Shit.
Indeed. Shit indeed. Finn Balor would then make his return to the main roster, and the rest is history. He's still right now he's the leader of the Judgment Day.
I thought Rhea Ripley was the leader of the Judgment Day.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I thought JD McDonough was the leader of the Judgment Day.
I don't know who's
I thought Damian Priest was the leader
I see what you're doing. Shut up!
I thought Dominic Mysterio was the leader of the Judgment Day.
Oh my God, we're not gonna touch on that shit.
I will touch on that shit all day long. I don't give a damn.
But yeah, no, Finn Balor, he's another household name in NXT, and rightfully so. Like his unique presence in the ring, like his unique entrance, his unique style of offense, his pedigree, his popularity, everything about.
He'd be a lot more popular if he smiled more, pal.
Ugh.
He should smile more.
Well, you know what? Finn Balor has proven that you don't need to smile to become a top star in the black and gold brand.
He'd be more popular if he smiled more, though.
And Finn Balor, a great wrestler from NXT, one of the greatest champions, who's not afraid to show his demon side against his opponents.
Damn right.
All right, now before we get to number one, I just want to once again do a shout out for the live chat. I hope you guys are still chugging along. Kurisa Rando-sama, Jen Pearson, Gene Rick, Project Metal Music. I hope you guys are still with us.
They are, and we're very thankful for that. But I'm not gonna lie here. This has been a heck of a little countdown, but yeah, we're reaching the end of it right now.
Absolutely. Now we get to introduce our number one. Drum roll, please.
Okay, fine. One more time here, because yeah.
And coming in at number one for the top 10 greatest NXT champions of all time is Seth Rollins.
What the hell?
What's
that weird yellow thing on his hair?
That's his dye. That's his bleach hair, man.
No, Seth Rollins has dark hair and he has a really big beard and he dresses in really weird clothing. What is this person?
That was never the case, Wancho. That wasn't always the case.
Sure?
Yeah. Of course, the number one NXT champion of all time is the first ever NXT champion of all time.
At least as far as we're concerned here at the Ravens flock.
Hells yeah. See, around the summer of 2012, WWE's developmental promotion of Florida Championship Wrestling has closed its doors. And with the great minds of Triple H and WWE Hall of Famer, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, they decide to use polymerization to combine Florida Championship Wrestling and the reality contest show of NXT and turn it into the developmental brand of the black and gold NXT that fans love.
That fans now love.
You
have to remember, NXT at that point was an idea that Vince McMahon was trying to make by bringing back Tough Enough, making it a live show, and then not having it, be a thing, and then it didn't do anything for a little while, and then Triple H basically took it like, I think I could do something with it. Just let me play around with it.
And yeah, no, thank you to the Helmsley and Rose regime for salvaging NXT and making it awesome. And one of the first things that they did for NXT was that they announced a Gold Rush tournament to crown the inaugural NXT champion. Enter Seth Rollins.
All right, tell us about it, Jose.
Seth Rollins, of course, is another one of the indie darlings, starting off as Tyler Black from Ring of Honor. Seth Rollins has captured all the championships from Ring of Honor at that time. He was also featured briefly in TNA Wrestling, but nobody's counting that. And then after he wrapped up his business, he signed with WWE in 2011, and he was competing in FCW before moving up to NXT in 2012. He participated in this tournament, and he won the first ever NXT championship against and he beat the number one finalist, I kid you not, Jinder Mahal.
That one was one for the ages over here. This is when Jinder Mahal was just making his comeback. This is after 3MB.
No, this is before 3MB.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is
pre-3MB.
You're right. So yeah, Jinder Mahal. So he was just Jobber Mahal at that point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Seth Rollins had a great one with the title. Like but of course, a lot of people will remember Seth Rollins as NXT champion was when he competed in a tag team match on NXT against Cesaro and Cassius Ohno, teaming up with WWE champion CM Punk.
And that was a hell of a show for the ages, and that got people losing their minds over here. And this was at the height of CM Punk's initial WWE Championship reign there.
Absolutely. After rubbing elbows with CM Punk, Seth Rollins did CM Punk a solid. In November 18th of 2012, history was made at Survivor Series when Seth Rollins would make his debut alongside Dean Ambrose, aka Jon Moxley, and Roman Reigns as The Shield.
And that was the beginning of Seth Rollins' reign of infamy in the main roster, but that it doesn't mean that his accomplishments as the inaugural NXT champion were for naught. He helped set the tone for what Triple H and Dusty Rhodes' visions of the black and gold brand were all about. And with his technical style combined with his unpredictability, where he can blend between being a ring technician and a high flyer, all with a cruiserweight's body and the fighting spirit of a heavyweight, showed that Seth Rollins, formerly Tyler Black, currently Seth freaking Rollins, had what it takes to set NXT up from being a lowly reality show into a real proving ground for the future of World Wrestling Entertainment.
Absolutely, and that is why Seth Rollins is number one on the countdown. And you know what? We might as well bring it up right now since it all comes full circle. Like, Speaking of Seth Rollins right now is in a rivalry with the returning CM Punk, possibly setting up for their encounter at this year at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia for the WWE World Title.
Assuming that Seth Rollins makes it to WrestleMania as World Heavyweight Champion.
But yeah,
we don't know.
Juan is right. Seth Rollins is proof that, is one of the very few exceptional NXT prospects that is definitely that could thrive in WWE and make history. How much historical can you get? Seth Rollins is the only guy to cash in Money in the Bank at WrestleMania to win the WWE title.
Yeah, I remember that. The heist of the century, which was the result of, hey, we didn't want to see Brock Lesnar win, but we can't have... we didn't want to see Brock Lesnar lose, but we can't see Roman Reigns win. Let's give it to Rollins.
Exactly. And, yeah, that about does it. I mean, before we wrap this program, Juancho, before we wrap up the program, Juan, are there any, Juan, ring the bell.
Thank you.
So
you gotta follow the unwritten rules, Jose.
Now I know these are my countdown lists, but Juan, do you agree or disagree with any of the?
Wasn't Karrion Kross an NXT champion?
He was, but he really didn't do much.
Why would you do that? Why would you disrespect the man like that?
All right, I guess we could
Do you want him to come and eat my face
at God,
you?
Dork.
He'll do it. He doesn't care.
So would you say that Karrion Kross would be an honorable mention?
I was imagine that he ought to have been.
Okay, fair enough. Let's actually talk about Karrion Kross, the honorable mention here for NXT.
We don't even have a little graphic for him. Why would we do it at this point? Come on, what's the point?
All right, fine. I'm sorry, Juan. And I should have thought ahead.
Please don't eat my face, Mr. Kross.
Oh, stop it.
He'll do it! And he'll make Scarlett point and laugh at you while he's doing it.
Or indirectly, throws a fireball at you.
No. She won't throw it at me. Because Karrion will be in the middle of eating my face. He will destroy me. And she'll just point and laugh at you while he's doing it.
Ha, thanks. All right. So yeah, those are just my picks. Let me know in the chat right now or in the comments when you watch it in the replay if there's any NXT champions that you guys liked, or if you guys liked any of the picks for my countdown list. And yeah,
you didn't mention the newer guys here. No love for Ilya Dragunov. No love for Carmelo Hayes. What's that all about?
Well, Ilya Dragunov, because he's still within his he's still within his run as NXT champion, and Carmelo Hayes. I like Carmelo Hayes, but Braun Breaker, he really salvaged. He was really carrying Braun Breaker made the list because he was carrying the banner for NXT 2.0 during a time when fans were tuning out.
I know.
So that's why. But yeah, and this is it. This is the final Wrestle Rewind episode to wrap up 2023, folks. But don't worry, because next year we will return to form, and as a special treat, along with my reviews of NXT, of WWE NXT, AEW Dynamite, and Impact Wrestling, TNA Impact. Gotta remember, the new year, new rules. I will be covering the main event of AEW's World's End. MJF defending the AEW World title against Samoa Joe.
Well, yeah, we want to see where how Samoa Joe holds up, especially with this whole this whole storyline of the Devil that really went on way too long. We need to see what they ended up with.
I think the intrigue of the Devil kind of lost its luster when CM Punk returned to WWE. Yeah. All right.
It just goes to show you how many folks were actually thinking that it was Punk was just secretly the that he was secretly the Devil, and people thought it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
All right. So with that said, Juan, plug us away.
Don't mind if I do. Where we go? Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody in between, thank you very much for watching this week's live stream edition of Wrestle Rewind, hosted by Jose Casabona, as he reviews for you the best of the worst of three of the most exciting professional wrestling programs in North America today. WWE's NXT, All Elite Wrestling Day, WWE Night, and TNA Impact Wrestling. Step into the ring every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, simulcasting on YouTube and Kick. Hit the subscribe and the follow button, ring the notification bell to stay up to date on our content. Become an Interflocker by hitting the join button, and until next time, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlockOnline, Kick.com/TheRavensFlock, and of course, remember to hit the subscribe button and ring that tiny little notification bell right here on our flagship platform, YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock, humble home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play, Wrestle Rewind, and the Ravens Flock.
All right, folks, thank you very much for tuning in to another exciting live edition of Wrestle Rewind. For Juan Arouse, I am Jose Casabona, and Happy New Year, folks.